What if our power grid was suddenly wiped out and we were plunged into darkness? Could you survive without electricity? This question isn't as far-fetched as it might seem. Our power grid is becoming increasingly vulnerable. Threats range from natural disasters like severe storms and wildfires to man-made dangers like cyber and EMP attacks. The result? A world without electricity. In such a scenario, we're talking about more than just a temporary inconvenience. We're talking about a total blackout. No lights, no phones or internet, no heating or cooling, no fridges or freezers. Even running water would become a luxury of the past. Surviving in such conditions requires more than just hope. It requires knowledge and preparation. It's about learning to adapt to a new way of life and finding alternative methods to meet our most basic needs. Today, we're going to share 9 vital tips for managing life without electricity. Stay tuned and learn how to not just survive but thrive in the dark. Tip number 1 is ensuring you have reliable lighting. Light is crucial, not just for comfort, but for safety and productivity when the sun goes down. So, what are your options? Solar-powered lights are a fantastic solution. They soak up the sun's rays during the day and provide illumination at night, with no batteries or electricity required. Next up, we have candles. They're a classic, tried-and-true source of light, but remember to use them safely to avoid any fire hazards. Lanterns, particularly oil or propane ones, can light up a room effectively. They're portable, and you can adjust the brightness level. Finally, don't forget about flashlights. Opt for ones with LED bulbs, as they are more energy efficient and have a longer lifespan. Always have spare batteries on hand, or better yet, choose a wind-up or solar-powered model. Remember, having a source of light can make a big difference when you're plunged into darkness. Our second tip focuses on maintaining comfortable temperatures. When the power goes out, your HVAC system goes with it, leaving you to tackle the elements on your own. But don't worry, there are several ways to do this. For heating, consider wood stoves or propane heaters. Both are efficient and can heat large spaces. Just make sure you have a good supply of wood or propane on hand. Now, let's talk about cooling. During hot weather, passive cooling techniques are your best friend. These include utilizing shade, creating cross-ventilation by opening windows on opposite sides of your home, and using wet cloths for evaporative cooling. You'd be surprised how much a damp cloth on the back of your neck can cool you down. Remember, the key here is preparation. With a bit of planning, staying warm or cool without electricity is entirely achievable. Our third tip involves cooking without electricity. When the power goes out, you'll need to know how to prepare your food using alternative methods. Propane stoves are a popular choice due to their portability and ease of use. They can be fueled by small propane canisters or larger propane tanks, making them versatile for both short-term power outages and long-term off-grid living. Solar cookers are another excellent option. These devices harness the power of the sun to cook your food, requiring no fuel at all. They work best in sunny climates and during the sunniest part of the day. And let's not forget the humble campfire. With a simple grate or a tripod, you can turn a campfire into a versatile outdoor stove. Just remember to practice safe fire handling and always have materials to extinguish the fire close at hand. With the right tools and knowledge, you won't have to worry about going hungry. Our fourth tip is about preserving food without a fridge. In the absence of electricity, traditional food preservation methods come to the rescue. These techniques have been used for centuries and are still as effective today. Canning, for instance, involves heating food in jars to kill bacteria and create a vacuum seal, keeping the contents fresh for months or even years. Smoking is another excellent method, especially for meats. The smoke not only flavors the food but also aids in drying it out and preserving it. Drying, in general, is a simple and effective way to preserve a variety of foods from fruits to herbs. Lastly, consider using a Zir pot. This ingenious invention is a non-electric clay refrigerator that uses evaporative cooling to keep food fresh. So, food preservation is critical and entirely possible without electricity. Our fifth tip is on water collection and purification. Now let's dive into the importance of water. In a world without electricity, your traditional sources of water may no longer be reliable. So, how do we adapt? First, consider setting up a rainwater collection system. This can be as simple as placing a clean barrel or other large container in an open area to catch rainfall. You'll be amazed at how quickly it can fill up during a good downpour. But let's not forget, water straight from the sky isn't always safe to drink, so let's talk purification. Boiling is the most common method. Just make sure the water reaches a rolling boil for at least a minute. Chemical purification like using iodine or chlorine tablets is another option. Lastly, there's the solar still, an ingenious method that uses the sun's heat to evaporate and then condense clean water. Remember, water is life. Knowing how to collect and purify it is a vital survival skill. Our sixth tip addresses sanitation and hygiene without running water. It's crucial to maintain cleanliness, even when the taps run dry. One innovative solution is a composting toilet. This self-contained system doesn't need water to function and effectively converts human waste into compost. It's a practical and eco-friendly solution when water is scarce. Next, let's talk about personal hygiene. Wet wipes can be a lifesaver for cleaning hands and surfaces, while hand sanitizers kill bacteria when soap and water are not available. Consider also stocking up on no-rinse bathing products. These are specially formulated to clean and deodorize the body without the need for water. Remember, maintaining good hygiene isn't just about comfort. It's a key factor in preventing disease and infection. So even when the lights go out, don't let your standards drop. Maintaining hygiene is crucial, even in a power outage. Our seventh tip is preparing for non-electric communication methods. In a world without power, staying connected and informed becomes a challenge. You may not be able to rely on your smartphone or the internet, but don't worry, there are ways around this. One method is to use battery-powered or hand-crank radios. These devices can receive important news and updates even when the power is out. You just need to ensure you have enough batteries or a strong hand to keep the radio running. Another option is two-way radios. These can be useful for local communication within a certain range. They are especially handy if you're part of a community or group. And let's not forget about signal flares. They can be seen from miles away and can be a lifesaver in emergency situations where immediate help is needed. Staying connected and informed is critical in any survival scenario. Remember, communication is not just about talking, it's about listening too. Our eighth tip is about managing finances without digital access. Think about it. In an electricity-free scenario, digital banking and ATMs would be non-functional. This would make cash an absolute necessity. Having a cash reserve on hand could make all the difference when it comes to purchasing essentials or bartering for goods and services. But let's go beyond just cash. Consider other items that could be valuable in a trade. This could be anything from canned food, bottled water, and medical supplies to fuel, batteries, and tools. These items can serve a dual purpose. They're useful for your own survival, and they're tradable commodities in a society without digital transactions. Remember, the key is to be prepared. We often take digital access to our finances for granted, but in a survival situation, it's the tangible, physical assets that will hold the most value. In a world without electricity, cash and barter become king. Our final tip focuses on maintaining morale and mental health. In a world without electricity, our usual sources of entertainment and relaxation might be inaccessible. That's why it's essential to have non-electric options on hand. Books are a fantastic choice, offering endless stories and knowledge to dive into. Board games and playing cards can provide hours of fun and can be a great way to bring people together, fostering a sense of community and camaraderie. Craft supplies, too, can be a source of both entertainment and practicality. Knitting, for example, can be a relaxing pastime, while also producing warm clothing for those colder days. Even simple activities like storytelling or singing can be powerful tools in lifting spirits and creating a positive atmosphere. So remember to include these items in your survival kit, because keeping spirits high is just as important as meeting your physical needs. Adapting to life without electricity might seem daunting, but with preparation and the right knowledge, it's entirely achievable. Today, we've walked through 9 vital tips to help you manage life off the grid. We've discussed alternative lighting solutions, maintaining comfortable temperatures without power, and non-electric cooking methods. We've also delved into food preservation without refrigeration and water collection and purification techniques. We've covered how to maintain hygiene without running water, the importance of non-electric communication strategies, and how to manage finances without digital access. And let's not forget the importance of keeping up morale with non-electric entertainment. Remember, embracing a self-reliant lifestyle isn't about giving up comforts, it's about finding new, sustainable ways to provide them. These 9 tips are just the beginning. For more in-depth guides and practical tips, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Your support helps us create more insightful content for you. We know that going dark can be an intimidating prospect, but together we can navigate this journey. If you've got your own tips for living without electricity, we'd love to hear about them. So, drop a comment below and let's get a conversation started. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of great content coming up, from detailed guides to practical tips on survival strategies. You won't want to miss it. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you're always in the know. The world may be unpredictable, but with the right knowledge, you can always be one step ahead. Remember, preparation is key, so stay informed, stay prepared, and stay safe.